James Mennie from the Montreal Gazette is here. Hi, James.
Hello, Matt. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Much better than Pablo Rodriguez today.
I was about to say, no matter how you're doing better than later the Liberal Party. Man, what a mess. What an absolute, nonstop, rolling train wreck of a mess. And Matt, I've been in this business a long time, and the immediate regret that I have when I see headlines like this is that newsrooms have become so small now that, there was a time, I guarantee you, there would have been an office pool on how long it'll be till Pablo Rodriguez has to resign, and you could make out like a bandit on that. You could make a quick few $100 on that. Nowadays, it's not really worth your while because there's not that many people to throw money into the kitty. But let's face it, between our own Tom Mulcair, Robert Libman over at the Gazette, reports of a petition circulating that, Pablo Rodriguez must go, and the fact as well is that the Liberals are second only to the Parti Québécois when it comes to pulling their knives out for a leader who isn't up to snuff. I would have to say, and I'm not suggesting in any way, shape, or form here that Pablo Rodriguez is responsible for any of this, but talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time in the wrong context of a party which had worked hardest. The Liberal Party of Quebec worked even harder at trying to show itself to be squeaky clean than it did to keep Quebec in Confederation. And the fact is, all that is out the window. We're back to the bad old days, and it is something now that, back in the day, i.e. 2 months ago, we'd say, my God, it's another year to the next election. All of a sudden, the clock is ticking, and those tick-tocks are very, very loud. So really, the question is, when will he go? Because I really cannot, through any way, shape, or form, see him hanging around. And the Liberal Party is quite literally running out of options. They do not have that store of goodwill, and indeed have virtually no goodwill off the island of Montreal. For them to turn around and say, "Oh, don't worry, this will just all blow over." It ain't blowing over.
Yeah.
It's now defining the party, Matt. And when we see stuff like that, I'm sorry, and you could turn around and say, this isn't fair. And as my mom used to tell me back in the day, life isn't fair, sweetheart. So it's all part and parcel of the same thing. But I can't see this ending any other way than with the departure of Mr. Rodriguez.
Well, it's clearly having an impact on people's perception because, we opened the lines a little earlier in the show and asked people whether they think he should go, and the overwhelming sort of consensus from the callers was that, this has sort of ruined the party in their eyes, and they don't have much faith in him as a leader to fix it. They've seen a 6-point drop in just 2 weeks just off of this. So it's clearly a big deal. It's not just noise, as Marc Tanguay put it today.
No, but you know how it works, Matt. They're all going to, play their roles. They're all going to say the things they're expected to say. But honestly, there are some old hands there in the Liberal caucus, and they know what trouble looks like. And trouble has been with them now virtually nonstop for the past 3 weeks. There's absolutely no reason to think that it's going to go away. And I heard you talking to Maya before, and you know what? It's true. It is like some advent calendar from hell. It's like there's always something new, some new prize that's going to pop out to the detriment of the Liberal Party on a daily basis. The fact you and I are now even sort of advancing the story, talking about the political future of Pablo Rodriguez, kind of overshadows the late night expulsion of Chambly MNA Sona Lakoyan Olivier. This is the same Sona Lakoyan Olivier who I saw on TV blaming the media for creating all this controversy, but who also, as I recall, sent a cease and desist to 98.5 because they suggested that she was the author of one of the original texts that had caused all this controversy. So you know what? She's on the sidelines pending the outcome of an ethics commission investigation. So there's nothing really remarkable about that. This happened back in the day with good old Pierre Fitzgibbon, or when it came to the Ethics Commission, I used to call him Mad Dog Fitzgibbon because he was such a repeat offender. But the fact is, in this context, even that routine pro forma departure from the caucus, it's another clump of very black cloud over the increasingly beleaguered Liberal Party of Quebec.
I just got a text message here from someone that says On Island doesn't have much sympathy for him either. So that.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. When you actually crunch the numbers, even whatever support that the Quebec Liberals have, is virtually completely concentrated on the island, not even the 450. It's on the island of Montreal, because in the Greater Montreal area, Léger actually had them a bit behind the pack, simply because the Greater Montreal area includes the 450, which once was blood red. It was completely liberal, but no longer, my friend. So how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah. Speaking of, I want to ask you a little bit about Bill 1 here, because you wanted to talk a little bit about the CAQs, Bills 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is it. This is their cha-cha-cha right to the edge of political oblivion, right? Nothing's going to save it. Bill 1 is already being dismissed as a PR exercise, and the idea now, we're going to talk to all these groups,
That's the Constitution Act, right? This is
the law of laws, the mother of all laws, there, Matt. And the fact is, it is in fact the law waterproofing any Quebec government from any kind of responsibility for obeying the law, i.e., whether it's trampling fundamental rights or just overruling the courts, so on and so forth. That's all in there. But the fact is, this and these hearings now are only being taken up by the CAQ because everybody was screaming about the fact no one had been consulted on this. Bill 2, the How to Alienate All Doctors in Quebec Act, is on again, off again. They're not talking to the federations. Now they are talking to the federations. And is it possible that Francois Legault will throw Christian Dubé under a bus because this law has proved to be such a disaster? Only time will tell. But let's face it, the record speaks for itself. And I wouldn't put too much money on Christian Dubé being around for much longer if Bill 2 does not undergo some real miracle of acceptance on the part of the province's physicians. And Bill 3, which is basically a union-busting act, we haven't even started to have fun with that one yet, Matt. I mean, the unions have been talking tough, but they realize that this is basically going to give the province the same kind of extraordinary powers that the feds have to turn off a strike with like a switch if they feel, in their criteria, that the public is the health and safety is not being jeopardized, if that the public is being too inconvenienced by the strike. So you know what? All these things, all these confrontational laws, they're confrontational for a reason, because this is how the CAQ functions. This is how the CAQ thinks it gains support. It's not going to work, and it's going to slam us all into a wall. And I can only express my dismay and hope that when the smoke clears, the damage won't be too bad or irreparable once the CAQ's been booted out of office next October.
Before I let you go, Jim, I just want to ask you, because on Monday we're going to be celebrating the 80th anniversary of CJAD 800, the radio station. When we come back after this, we're going to open the lines up to our listeners to ask for any memories, favorite moments that they have from those past 80 years. We're going to play a nice long montage, so you can stick around for that. But I want to ask you, as someone who's been on these airwaves for a long time, if you've got any special memories or things you want to share about your time.
Actually, frankly, Matt, it's not a memory. It's more of an experience. I mean, I've been with the Gazette for more than 40 years. I've been with this show for, I don't know, it's been like 16 years now. I've been with CJAD for more than 20. And every single day, no matter what happens, when it comes to CJAD, and this is not some, group-eyed enthusiasm. This ain't my first or 800th rodeo. But when I'm with CJAD, I always feel as if I'm a part of something bigger, something bigger that's about Montreal, something bigger that's about the people in Montreal. I've never lost that feeling, and I think it says something that even after 80 years, we still have listeners. People saying, "Oh no, radio's not." No, look at our numbers. CJAD, it is News Talk Radio. It's the voice of Montreal, and I have never been prouder than to be a part of it.
All right, Jim. Thanks very much for this. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
The biggest songs in the world. You've heard them countless times. Now, learn the details of how they came to be. Join Ruby Carr for Encore, the stories behind the songs you love. New interviews and newly unearthed archive footage make for a fascinating weekly deep dive. Stream Encore, the stories behind the songs you love on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.